Let me teach you how to sew up these teensy fabric baskets step by step. I have 2 cotton squares that measure 10 inches by 10 inches and 2 strips that are 2 inches by 7 inches for the handles. We need some cotton woven fusible interfacing fused to the lining and the 2 handle strips. For the exterior, we want to give the basket a little more body, so I'm using light fusible batting here. Get your iron and ironing board ready and fuse everything together so the fabric joins with the interfacings that you're using here. Now we can take both exterior and lining, flip them pretty side face down, and trace out 3-inch by 3-inch squares on all 4 corners of both pieces. Take your scissors and carefully cut all 4 corners out of both of those fabric panels. Now you can set those aside and we're ready to move on to making our handles. Press in half lengthwise, open, bring in the long edge, same on the other side, and then refold down the middle. Place your clips and we're top stitching really close to the edge on both long edges for both of the little handle strips. Now we need to close up the corners that we cut out those squares from, so bring your fabrics, pretty sides touching, raw edges matching, place your clips to create the boxy shape, and you'll repeat this to the exterior and the lining fabric panel as well. For sewing them up, I'm using a short stitch length and a 1/4 inch seam allowance and back stitching at the beginning and at the end. You'll do this for the 4 seams on the exterior piece as well as the 4 seams on your lining panel as well. So now they look like this, and we need to baste the handles to the exterior. So grab the exterior box and you're going to place your handles in a letter U, position them with raw edges touching the top on one side, and then place the second handle opposite side. Make sure that they're the same distance away from those side seams before you go in and base stitch them really close to the side edge there to hold the handles in place. Now you can flip your lining piece right side out, tuck that inside of the exterior so that pretty sides of the fabrics are touching, place clips at those side seam intersections, and then go ahead and mark yourself about a 2.5 inch to 3 inch opening in the middle of one of the sides. We're going to leave this unstitched. So next, with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, you're going to stitch around the entire top perimeter, working your way evenly around, matching those side seam intersections. And when you come around to the beginning of that line that you marked on the other side, make sure to backstitch, and then you can cut your threads. You'll have a hole right there, so carefully reach in and flip the whole basket right side out. It's going to look like a mess. Just tuck the lining to the inside, and you also want to tuck in the raw fabric edges that are right there where you had the opening. Hold that together shut, and then with your iron, you're going to give the whole thing that final shaping that you want. So see, it already looks a lot better, a nice boxy basket. Then do one final line of top stitching around the entire top perimeter, about 1/8 of an inch down from the edge. Give it a final press, and your teensy basket is done. I hope you enjoyed this, and remember, I'm Vanessa the Crafty Gemini, and I make sewing simple. Follow me.